Welcome back to Mindcast with Dee, everyone. I'm Dee, and today we're diving into a fascinating idea. The brain fills in the gaps. Have you ever been completely sure about something and later realized you were wrong? Or read a sentence with missing letters and still understood it perfectly? That's not a glitch. It's your brain doing exactly what it's designed to do.
Hi, I'm Will, and I'm really excited to see what behind-the-scenes insights we'll uncover today. Because honestly, that already sounds a little scary. Are you saying my brain just makes stuff up? Like I might be trusting things that aren't even real?
Great question. And yes, in a way, your brain does make things up. But it's not trying to trick you. It's trying to help you move faster and make sense of the world. Your brain is constantly predicting and filling in missing information so you don't have to process every tiny detail. This matters because it shapes how we remember things, how we judge situations, and even how we argue with people.
Okay, now I'm thinking about all those times I misheard lyrics or thought someone said something they didn't. Is that the same thing? Because I always blame the other person, not my brain. This feels like a responsibility shift.
Exactly. That's a perfect relatable moment. Let's say someone sends you a short text. Fine. Your brain doesn't just read the word, it fills in tone, emotion, intent. You might think they're annoyed even if they're just busy. That's your brain filling gaps based on past experiences.
Wow, I've definitely started arguments over text like that. So I wasn't reacting to reality. I was reacting to my interpretation. That's kind of humbling. And also slightly embarrassing.
Don't worry. Everyone does it. Let's break this down with a simple concept called cognitive bias. This just means your brain uses shortcuts to make decisions quickly, instead of carefully analyzing everything. It's like mental autopilot. It saves time, but sometimes leads to mistakes.
So cognitive bias is like my brain taking shortcuts. But occasionally cutting through the wrong alley? That actually explains a lot of my snap judgments. Is this why first impressions can be so misleading?
Exactly. And that connects to another term. Confirmation bias. This is when your brain looks for information that supports what you already believe and ignores what doesn't. So if you think someone is rude, your brain fills in gaps to confirm that idea. Even neutral actions can start to look negative.
That's wild. So it's like my brain becomes my own hype man. But for my assumptions? No wonder people get stuck in their opinions. It's like you're building a case without realizing it.
That's a great way to put it. Now let's talk about emotional reasoning. This is when you assume something is true because of how you feel. For example, I feel ignored, so they must be ignoring me. Your brain fills the gap between feeling and fact, even if the fact isn't confirmed.
Oh man, that hits close. I've definitely assumed people were mad at me just because I felt anxious, so my feelings were basically writing the story. That explains a lot of unnecessary stress.
Exactly. And one more important concept. Pattern recognition. This is your brain's ability to spot patterns, even when they're not really there. It's useful for survival, but it can also make you connect dots that don't actually connect, like thinking two unrelated events are linked.
So that's why people see signs everywhere? Like, this happened twice, so it must mean something? My brain is basically trying to be a detective, but sometimes solving the wrong case. That's kind of funny and concerning.
Let's make this practical. Here are 5 simple tips to avoid being misled by your brain filling in gaps. First, pause before reacting, especially emotionally. Second, ask yourself, what do I actually know for sure? Third, check for alternative explanations. There's usually more than one. Fourth, don't trust first impressions blindly. Give things time. And fifth, clarify instead of assuming. Just ask the person.
I like that last one a lot. Just ask. It sounds so obvious, but we almost never do it. We'd rather guess and be wrong than risk an awkward conversation. That's kind of ironic.
Here's where it gets interesting. and a bit controversial. In today's world, especially online, people are more divided than ever. And a big reason is this gap-filling behavior combined with confirmation bias. We see what we expect to see, and we fill in the rest to match our beliefs.
So social media might actually be amplifying this? Like we're all living in slightly different versions of reality? That explains why debates feel impossible sometimes. People aren't even starting from the same facts.
Exactly. And that's why awareness is so powerful. If you know your brain does this, you can catch it in action. You can slow down and question your assumptions instead of acting on them immediately. That's where real clarity comes from.
I'm definitely going to start noticing this now. Probably too much at first, honestly. Like I'll second guess every thought. But I guess that's part of learning.
All right, let's bring the audience into this. Think about the last time you misunderstood someone. Was it because of missing information your brain filled in? Drop your story in the comments. We'd love to hear it. It's amazing how common this is once you start noticing.
Yeah, I'm actually curious to read those. I feel like we've all got at least one story where we jumped to the wrong conclusion. And probably learned the hard way. This could get very relatable very fast.
Let's do a quick recap. Your brain fills in gaps to save time and energy. But that can lead to cognitive bias, confirmation bias, emotional reasoning, and false patterns. The key is slowing down, questioning assumptions, and checking reality.
So basically, my brain is helpful but not always accurate. And I shouldn't treat every thought like it's a fact. That's a pretty powerful takeaway. Honestly, this changes how I look at everyday situations.
Exactly. And that awareness alone can improve your relationships, decisions, and even your stress levels. Because once you stop reacting to assumptions, you start responding to reality. And that's a huge shift. Thanks for spending this time with us. Catch you in the next one.